Picking the wrong RTX 5070 could mean overpaying for features that do nothing for the build, or worse, cramming a card into a case where it simply does not fit. These are the top 5 best 5070 graphics cards right now, each one built for a completely different type of PC builder and gamer. The Asus Prime RTX 5070 OC Edition strips things back to the essentials, and that is exactly why it deserves a spot here. Not every builder needs a massive triple-slot cooler or aggressive overclocking features. Some just want a reliable, well-cooled card that gets the job done at 1440 PE without any fuss. The Prime sits as the most accessible model in the Asus RTX 5070 lineup, offering a 2.5 slot design with a triple fan axial tech cooler that keeps the card compact enough for a wider range of cases. It carries SFF-ready certification, which means it has been designed with smaller builds in mind right from the start. A dual BIOS switch lets builders toggle between performance and quiet profiles without needing any software, which is a welcome touch for anyone who prefers a set-it-and-forget-it experience. The cooling is more than adequate for the 250-watt TGP of the RTX 5070, and thermals stay well managed during typical gaming workloads. Asus kept the aesthetic simple here, with a black plastic shroud and a full aluminum backplate featuring a cutout for airflow. There is no flashy RGB to speak of, making this card a clean fit for office-style builds or systems where visual simplicity matters. Under the hood, the same 6,144 CUDA cores, 12 GB of GDDR7, and full DLSS4 support are all present and accounted for. Performance differences between this and the higher-end Asus models are minimal in real-world gaming, typically landing within 1 or 2%. That is the reality of the RTX 5070 across the board. The GPU itself is identical no matter which brand or model wraps around it, so paying hundreds more for a premium cooler only makes sense if noise, thermals, or overclocking are top priorities. For everyone else, the Prime handles everything a 1440p gamer could ask for without the added cost. For first-time builders or anyone putting together a clean, efficient gaming rig without chasing every last megahertz, the Prime delivers outstanding value and proves that sometimes the simplest option is the smartest one. Gigahertz, the Prime delivers outstanding value. The Gigabyte RTX 5070 WindForce OCSFF is built for the builder who refuses to compromise performance just because the case is small. Small form factor builds have exploded in popularity, and finding a high-performance GPU that actually fits in a compact chassis without choking on its own heat has always been a challenge. Gigabyte designed the WindForce OCSFF specifically for this crowd. The card uses a shorter PCB than most RTX 5070 models, paired with Gigabyte's WindForce cooling system featuring fans that spin in alternating directions. This counter-rotation creates a smoother, more efficient airflow pattern that reduces turbulence between the fans and pushes more cool air through the heatsink. Despite its smaller footprint, the card still packs the full RTX 5070 experience with 12 gigabytes of GDDR7 memory, PCIe 5.0 connectivity, and complete support for DLSS4 and multi-frame generation. The shorter length makes it compatible with a much wider range of mini ITX and micro ATX cases that would simply reject a full-size card like the Gaming Trio or TUF Gaming. Thermals are impressive for the form factor, and Gigabyte's engineering ensures the card stays within safe operating temperatures, even when the surrounding airflow is more restricted than in a standard mid-tower. The build quality is solid with a metal backplate for structural support and added rigidity. For anyone building a compact living room gaming PC, a portable LAN rig, or just a clean desk setup where a smaller tower looks better, this card solves the size problem without sacrificing what makes the RTX 5070 such a capable GPU. The Zotac Gaming RTX 5070 Solid OC is the card that quietly does everything well without demanding attention. Zotac has built a reputation for delivering solid performance at competitive availability, and the Solid OC continues that tradition. It uses the Ice Storm 2.0 cooling system, which features a refined heatsink design and optimized fan blades for balanced thermal and noise performance. The card stays cool during extended gaming sessions and keeps fan noise at a level that blends into the background rather than competing with the game audio. Spectra RGB lighting runs along the card, offering customization for builders who want a little visual flair without going overboard. The design is clean and understated, sitting in a comfortable middle ground between bare-bones budget cards and heavily branded premium models. Under the hood, the solid OC runs 12 gigabytes of GDDR7 at 28 gigabits per second on a 192-bit memory bus, paired with PCIe 5.0 and full DLSS4 support. What makes the Zotac stand out in the current market is availability. While many RTX 5070 models from other brands constantly drift in and out of stock, the solid OC has historically been one of the easier models to actually get hands on. For builders who are tired of refreshing product pages and waiting for restocks, that alone is a significant advantage. The card fits comfortably in standard mid-tower builds and delivers the same core gaming performance that every other RTX 5070 provides, because at the end of the day, all of these cards share the same GPU and the same 12 gigabytes of GDDR7. The differences come down to cooling, noise, size, and build quality, and the solid OC holds its own in every one of those categories. For builders who want a dependable, no-nonsense card that just works without the premium markup, this one deserves serious consideration. The Asus TUF Gaming RTX 5070 OC Edition takes a completely different approach. Where some cards chase flashy aesthetics, the TUF Gaming doubles down on raw durability and thermal engineering. Asus uses what they call military-grade components throughout the power delivery system, including upgraded chokes, MOSFETs, and capacitors built to handle sustained heavy loads over long periods. Instead of traditional thermal paste between the GPU and the cooler, Asus went with a phase-change thermal pad. This material melts under heat to create tighter contact with the die, and it resists drying out far longer than conventional paste, which is a real advantage for anyone who plans to keep this card installed for several years without reapplying anything. The three axial tech fans feature dual ball bearings rated at 80,000 hours and support 0 decibel technology, meaning they shut off completely when the GPU temperature drops below a set threshold. The result is a card that goes dead silent during desktop use, web browsing, or lighter tasks. Out of the box, the TUF runs a boost clock of 2,640 MHz when activated through GPU Tweak 3, which is already well above the reference specification. Thermal testing from multiple independent reviewers showed the GPU temperature barely cracking 60 degrees even during extended sessions. But here is where things get exciting for tweakers. One review managed to overclock the TUF by an additional 300 MHz on the core and nearly 2,000 MHz on the memory without any thermal issues. That is a staggering amount of headroom and speaks volumes about how overbuilt this cooler really is. The card does take up 3.125 slots, so it is thicker than some competitors, and that extra girth could be an issue in tighter cases. The PCB is also coated with a special layer designed to resist moisture and dust, adding another layer of protection. Even the included GPU bracket helps prevent sag and cracking over time. The design is clean and industrial with minimal RGB that fits well in builds where performance takes priority over aesthetics. For builders who want a card they can install and genuinely forget about for years, confident that it will keep running cool and quiet no matter what gets thrown at it. The TUF Gaming is hard to beat. The MSI RTX 5070 Gaming Trio OC is a card that immediately earns attention the moment it slides into a system. It runs on MSI's TRI Frozar 4 cooling platform, which uses 3 Stormforce fans designed with textured blades and double ball bearings for long-term durability. Those fans also support 0 RPM mode, which means at idle or during light workloads, the card stays completely silent because the fans simply stop spinning. Under the shroud sits a nickel-plated copper base plate connected to square-shaped heat pipes that run the full length of the card, pulling heat away from the GPU with serious efficiency. The factory overclock pushes the boost clock to 2,625 MHz, and independent testing has shown this card hovering around 60 degrees Celsius under sustained gaming loads, which is genuinely impressive for a card at this tier. What makes the Gaming Trio stand out even more is its overclocking headroom. Reviewers have reported pushing an additional 200 MHz on top of the factory overclock using MSI Afterburner, and the card barely flinched thermally. That kind of headroom is rare for a 5070. The RGB on this card sits beneath a frosted plastic layer, giving off a soft, diffused glow rather than harsh, distracting lighting. A holographic MSI Dragon logo on the back adds a nice, subtle accent. At 338 millimeters long and occupying roughly 2.5 slots, the gaming trio fits comfortably in most standard mid-tower cases. It comes equipped with 12 gigabytes of GDDR7 memory on a 192-bit bus, running at 28 gigabits per second, all riding on PCIe 5.0 with full DLSS4 support, including multi-frame generation. The heatsink also uses wave-curved fins and a V-shaped airflow design that channels cool air directly through the densest parts of the fin stack, reducing turbulence and maximizing heat dissipation. For builders who want strong cooling performance, a factory overclock with room to push further, and a design that looks sharp without being over the top, this card delivers on every front. Which of these 5 cards fits the build best? Drop it in the comments below, and if there is a specific card that should have made the list, share that too. Thanks for watching.